Good evening and welcome everyone to another presentation of ACHA Hockey here on Price Productions. I'm Dale Gentner here with you this evening. Colorado State University getting set for their second meeting of the season with the University of Wyoming Cowboys tonight. Colorado triumphed on their last meeting back on October 24th by a score of 5-2. Looking for a repeat performance here tonight and looking for a bounce back after a rough weekend against the University of New Mexico Lobos. Tonight on the starting lineups for both teams, we have for CSU, Luke Hansen on defense on the left side, Logan Warfield on the right. Up in the middle, Jared Barton at your center spot. He'll be flanked by Tyler Vaughn on his left and Jackson O'Brien on his right. For the University of Wyoming Cowboys, they go with Jesse Easterwood in between the pipes this evening. He is going to be playing in behind Trey Campbell on defense on the left, Landon Lotzer on the right, with Mario Rodriguez on the right wing, Ian Bullard on the left, being centered by Bo Donelin. As we get set for the start of play tonight, both teams getting these last couple of warm-up preparations made before the Zambonis will come back out and freshen the ice surface for the start of play tonight. You're watching ACHA Hockey on Price Productions. Both teams getting ready for the start of play here tonight at the Adora Pool Ice Center here in Fort Collins, Colorado. We mentioned the starting lineups for both teams tonight. On defense for CSU, Luke Hansen, Logan Warfield. Out in front, Tyler Vaughn on the left wing, Jared Barton at center with Jackson O'Brien on the right. And then for the visiting Wyoming Cowboys, goaltender Jesse Easterwood between the pipes, Mario Rodriguez on the right, Ian Bullard on the left, Bo Donelin on the middle at center. On defense, Trey Campbell and Landon Lotzer will be the starters in between the pipes. And in goal for CSU tonight will be goaltender number 32, Cross North. We mentioned both teams coming off of losses in their most recent games. Both teams with 3 wins on the season. CSU has 1 at the Cowboys' expense so far back on October the 24th. CSU looking to continue that trend here. Wyoming looking for some revenge. We'll get you back ready for the start of play here tonight at the Epic Ice Center in Fort Collins. You're watching the ACHA on Price Productions. National anthem in the books here at the Adora Pool Ice Center. CSU and Wyoming set to clash for the second time this season here tonight. Coaching battle between the conglomerate of Doug Sheridan, Reese Newhouse, Bodie McGohey, and Tanner Moyer for CSU, taking on the Mines, Kerry Heck, and Scott Miller of Wyoming. Cross North gets the start for tonight here with CSU. He picked up his 10th career win with the team back on October the 24th against these very same Cowboys. On the other side, it's Jesse Easterwood, who has a 1-5 record this season. He played his he played AAA hockey with the Colorado Rampage. Jesse Easterwood, product of Chicago, Illinois, here getting ready to take on the hometown Rams, wearing the white jerseys again tonight, same as they wore back on Saturday last weekend against the New Mexico Lobos. Both teams trying to bounce back from a couple of setback losses they experienced at the same foe the week prior. CSU dropped a pair of games to the New Mexico Lobos back last weekend, while at the same time up in Laramie, the Cowboys dropped a pair against the CU, as we are set and underway with the Rams in control off the face-off, dumped in by Jared Barton. Turning it over, CSU gets it back. Barton with a wrister deflected up and out of play off the stick of O'Brien for a first whistle just 13 seconds into the play. Both these teams, a quick drive off the face-off that was sent wide by Luke Hansen. Hansen keeps the play alive in the zone. Sharp angle Barton. He gets run to the ditch by Bo Donelin, the team's second leading point scorer. Up the wall, this is played but not clear. Barton with a good keep in. A wrister floats to Easterwood, and he will melt it now with 38 seconds gone by in the first period. Both teams making personnel changes after a good first shift. Sam Burgess, who was in on that faceoff there, he was the lone goal scorer in the Rams' most recent outing, that 5-1 loss against the Lobos. This one sent hard around the dasher by Hansen, slowed up by Easterwood. Turning with it was Patrick McGrath. He's able to get it clear, but not much further, as Hansen will scale it back in. Takeaway behind the goal by Easton Harrison. All the way up at the point for Burgess, covering up. Plays it back down low for Easton once more. Easton Harrison using the dasher to get it back to the point. That was short-circuited by Braxton Thomas. He will work clear. This puck's deflected, so no icing, or they do blow the whistle. Couple of chirps from the benches on either side. I thought that puck was deflected. The linesmen, they disagree, and so the whistle will come back in the neighborhood of the Wyoming Cowboys. Bearing in on this draw for the hometown Rams is David Marcus. He lost it, and the Cowboys will play it on the other flank. Turning with it is McGrath. He's chased quickly by Aubrey Prime Morales. Prime Morales there to carry his man to the boards. That is McGrath once more. And Daxton Thomas will dash away with Braxton in tow. A long wrister, angled aside by Cross North, gets his first save of the game. Now a poke check right to the slot. And it caroms back to the corner where it's gathered in by Wesley Amos. Down low below the goal line, a double team there on Christian Struber. A slot feed and a great save by Cross North. His first stop of the night. A tester from Patrick McGrath. A little bit more than 2 minutes gone by here in the opening period. Amos to take the face-off, and he will get it back to the point. Bad pass there, taken away by Prime Morales, and he will skate into the zone and just play it around the boards. Indirectly, there's Denny White keeping it below the goal line. Wyoming will try the other flank and bring it cross corner for returning Evan Heck. Evan Heck, a native of Laramie, Wyoming here in this game tonight. Struber digging in, loosens it to the front. Great, deflected away. A snap shot from the point that does not make it on goal. Another turning wrister from Millimong that goes wide. Rams unable to clear. This one deflects to North. Turning with it is Ibsen. Ibsen not getting very far along the half wall. They jam forward along the boards. 3 in that scrum, now 4 and 5, as it's finally lofted clear by the Rams. Evan Heck in after it, using the net for some cover away from Nate Bishop. He will play it up the middle. A dangerous pass gets through the white-jerseyed Rams and back to center. Double team on the forecheck as this puck is played clear out of play by Ethan Millimon. In his second season with the University of Wyoming is Millimon. Had a goal against Boise State back on September 27th. Top line back out there for the Rams with Tyler Vaughn digging in on the forecheck. Rams skated away, not able to connect the pass through center. Shoulder to shoulder into the board there. It's Ian Raditz going up against Jackson O'Brien as the puck is lofted up and out of play into the timekeeper's bench. Face off to the right of Cross North. Defensive zone draw for CSU. Controlled by the Rams, and CSU will look for an outlet. Vaughn will scale this in. It's again deflected up and into the safety netting for a whistle. Cowboys making personnel changes. There was a wipeout on the Wyoming bench or right in front of it. Ian Raditz took a spill. A slot chance here, deflected to the corner. Unable to get a shot away was Jared Barton. CSU on the forecheck here again with Vaughn. Plays it down low for Barton, pardon me. Slot feed O'Brien. His backhand doesn't get through to the net. Barton with a snapshot. Pad save, rebound loose, and it's chopped just wide and out of play. Jesse Easterwood couldn't get a handle on it. There was too much commotion right outside the crease. A good chance for the Rams top line as they will get fresh folks over the boards for this upcoming face-off with 15:52 to go in the first period. Face-off controlled by the Rams. A quick snapshot by O'Brien, vacuumed up by Easterwood. A 50-50 puck off the draw. A neat move by Barton into the slot. And a O'Brien wrist shot was turned away by Easterwood. Cowboys now will chip it in and go in on the forecheck. Mario Rodriguez was the first to it. He got canceled out. Turning away from pressure is Luke Hansen. Ran into a double team. Rodriguez trying to kick it loose for Ian Bullard. Bullard on his backhand, a saucer pass chopped to the goal and cleaned up by Cross North for another stoppage in play. Joe May on the faceoff for the Cowboys. A pad save by North, and he'll cover. Joe May, a native of Brush, Colorado. Saw him catch up with a couple players on the Rams roster during the pregame skate this evening. As another faceoff ends up right in front of Cross North, and speeding away with it is Eustace Harrison. Trying to jump cut to the middle there, ran into three brown jerseys. All the way around the wall there, sealing away was Wyoming's Ethan Millimon. This one dribbles to Easterwood, and he will say that's enough. As we've now crossed the 5-minute mark of the opening period, still no score between CSU and the University of Wyoming. As Lucas Wild took his eyes off the puck there off the face-off. This puck gets deflected in, so there's no icing. Chasing after it is Nate Sulkitz. Into the slot, Lucas Wild on patrol defensively. Plays it indirect, intended for Harrison. It was a bit too strong for him. It clicks off, and here comes Joe May. Curl and drag gets to the interior before he's muscled off the puck. A follow-up wrister comes from Daxton Thomas, and that's eaten up by Cross North. And now some extra pushing and shoving after the whistle. And that was Eustace Harrison getting involved with Braxton Thomas. I apologize, that's Easton Harrison. And both boys will go to their rooms for a couple of minutes. A couple of roughing penalties are doled out. Braxton Thomas and Easton Harrison both sit for roughing at the 5:39 mark of the opening period, so we'll skate 4-on-4 for the next 2 minutes. More open ice afforded there for both teams. A nifty curl and drag by Benton Walshaw, not able to get it clear. Puck deflects into the Cowboys zone. Icing is washed out. Turning with it is Trey Campbell, trying for the home run pass intended for Lotzer. He will get to the puck first and negate the icing. Couple of hits late on the forecheck, but the Rams are away with David Marcus. Uncontested out of his own zone, 3-on-2. Cuts to the middle and fires! Easterwood with a breadbasket save, and he'll cover. A minute 24 to go in the 4-on-4 situation here for both of these teams. Off the wall, this is Bo Donnellan for Rodriguez. Further still to Bullard. Slap shot, he scores! Ian Bullard with a wicked wrist shot off the flank, and the Cowboys get on the board first in the 4-on-4. We'll have a replay of that for you here. Quick puck movement through the middle of the ice. Bullard gets a pocket of space, gets a step on his defender, and catches cross north off the angle. A quick puck movement, quick transition play there at 4-on-4 for the Cowboys, and they have a 1-0 lead. Bullard had an assist against CSU the last time out back on the 24th. He strikes here to get his team on the board first, and here he comes again. Driving to the front of the net. A pad save by North. He didn't get a lot of wood on that wrist shot. And there's a stoppage in play here as the Rams were fleeing the zone. Faceoff going to come outside the CSU zone. Pass into space there, not getting very far. Rams with Sulkus, or that was Hansen, I beg your pardon, not getting very far either. Rodriguez on the off wing, a wrist shot, and down to his knees to block that shot was Logan Warfield. As we have another whistle here, puck is going to be played with a high stick by Wyoming, so the faceoff will come outside the zone. .35 seconds remaining in the roughing minors to Braxton Thomas and Easton Harrison. As another wrist shot off the flank, off the stick of Evan Heck into the glove of Cross North. He'll hold on. Rams able to get this puck out on the ensuing faceoff. Ethan Millimon will retreat back into his own zone. Revolving with Heck. Heck's pass off the skate of Tyler Vaughn. Daxton Thomas into the middle. Millimon picks up the puck. Backpedaling at the blue line. A wrister deflected by Thomas that goes wide of North. Long stretch pass off a couple of sticks. This will be icing against the Rams as Jared Barton had not gotten quite to the center line before touching that puck. Both teams are now back to 5 aside. 12:17 to go in the first period. Stop and start period, but a 4-on-4 goal for Ian Bullard has the visiting Wyoming Cowboys in front. Off the face-off, control belongs to Tyler Vaughn of the Rams. He'll reverse the flow with Wild up the boards and driven out of there. Potential chance here for Barton. Down the wing with a wrist shot that goes wide of Easterwood. Vaughn keeps it down low. Give and go for O'Brien. Pad save. 2 chances there for O'Brien. Shut down at the post by Jesse Easterwood. Rams back in action in the offensive zone. Face-off win. Played to the point, but not out. Good keep in by Sulkus. In the slot. Good job cleaning up things in front of there by Landon Lotzer. Pass up the middle. Comes off the tape of Sam Burgess. Rams, though, keeping up the forechecking pressure. Eustace Harrison into the slot with a wrister. Blocked by Almos. Easton Harrison trying to play it back out to his brother Eustace. He didn't get his lumber on that. Bentley Simcox will work the other way. A pass steered to the corner by Cross North. 4 in that quarrel along the right hash mark of CSU. Now 9 minutes into the first period. Players being encouraged to move it. Struber got spilled out of that tussle. Cowboys come away with the puck, though. Amos with a neat move to the outside. Centering pass is behind Simcox. Rams trying to stretch the zone again. Onside, brought in a 2-on-1, a pad save for Easterwood. As joining the attack on that one was Denny White. Turnover here in the zone for the Rams. Good back check, retracing his steps there. David Marcus able to break that up. Marcus in no hurry now as the Rams will get fresh troops over the boards. Hudson Ibsen was finished hard into the glass. Working his way into the zone down the outside. There was Ethan Millimon. Slot feed up comes all the way across, and a wrist shot that goes high over top of the goal, guarded by Cross North. Another tussle along the wall, and the referees will bring play to a halt. Across the midway point of the first period here inside of Epic Ice Center in Fort Collins. And there is a penalty call coming up here. Referee spotting an infraction. I believe the signal was for holding. It's going against David Marcus of CSU. So the game's first power play tonight belongs to Wyoming, already with a 1-0 lead, looking to improve upon it. Rams win the draw, but almost gets a jump on it and gets control. Stopping and starting below the goal line is Bentley Simcox. Around to Rodriguez, a point wrist shot blocked, rebound in the slot. Great sliding save by Cross North as Donnellan had a wide open chance in front of the net. The Rams may have gotten a stick on that on the way, but a great sliding stop there by Cross North keeps it a 1-0 game. Off the win of the draw for the Cowboys. Easton Harrison in there. He's able to dig it free, and the Rams will play clear. 90 seconds still to go on the holding penalty to David Marcus. Mario Rodriguez, full flight down the wing. Gets it to the goal line. Well, I'll play it back out to the point. Bullard across. Donnellan back to Bullard. A snapshot doesn't get through. The body's stacking up well in front of Cross North on this penalty kill. Donnellan keeps it along the wall. Rodriguez, beautiful move right to the interior. Glove save by North. Rodriguez, a beautiful move right in between the defenders there. Found prime real estate. Tried to go against the grain on Cross North. But he made an excellent save with just over a minute to go in the penalty to David Marcus. Rams trying to fling it out of the zone. They don't get it clear. Second wave of the power play on for Wyoming. Daxton Thomas playing pitch and catch with Braxton. And the Cowboys unable to hold the zone here. CSU looking for a shorthanded chance with Shans on the backhand, stopped by Easterwood, and there's no rebound. University of Wyoming still a man to the good for 38 seconds. Taking his defensive zone draw. Rodriguez given a shoulder rudely by Tyler Vaughn. Rams trying to play a little keep away here while shorthanded. Nice indirect play to himself by Jared Barton, but there's a penalty call coming, and it's a slash. Two-minute slashing minor going against Bentley Simcox. So the Rams with some great hustle while shorthanded, so they'll earn themselves a little bit of 4-on-4 time and then an abbreviated power play at the end. So we'll have 4-on-4 for 19 seconds. Then the Rams will have about $1.41 of power play time after that. Officiating crew making sure everybody gets set, and they got the right man in the box. They actually sent Bo Donelin into the penalty box rather than Bentley Simcox. Simcox was the first one to go in the box, but they said they got the wrong guy. Around the horn, this is Tyler Vaughn, stripped from the blind side. There's another whistle here with the linesman having to break up a little bit of action at the attacking blue line for CSU. Landon Lotzer has been given another penalty call, so he's the only one in the box as of right now. So it looks like CSU will have a 4-on-3 power play for about 11 seconds. Then they'll transition to a 5-on-3 manpower advantage for the remaining 139 or so. Rams get control of the faceoff. It's Logan Warfield reversing. Vaughn steps in with a wrister, a pad save by Easterwood. Jared Barton gets topside. Bring it this way for Wild. All right, beg your pardon, that was Warfield. He was patted aside by Easterwood as well. Warfield again. Rams at 5-on-3 power play now. Plenty of open ice with which to work in the attacking territory. Slot feed in front intended for Eustace Harrison comes on through and will chase the Rams back to their own zone. Still two men to the good for about a minute 15. Jackson O'Brien scored last Friday against New Mexico. Bump set it up top. Warfield for O'Brien. Gets to the middle. Back for Warfield. Skate to stick off the mask of Easterwood. And it hits the top of the pane of glass and sits there in the safety netting for a whistle. Quite possibly the best offensive look the Rams have had so far tonight. And hit Jesse Easterwood right on the plain white goalie mask. Easterwood, though, covers a lot of the net there, 6'2", 185. Just when he gets down to that butterfly, as Logan Warfield takes the win of the draw for the Rams. Gets to the middle. On the seam pass, it comes off the stick of Barton. Warfield straight away. Then to Vaughn. Centering pass sticked away by Easterwood. Good active goalie stick by the Wyoming netminder, and the Cowboys clear. Still a two-man advantage now for 32 seconds for the Rams as Sam Burgess will head up ice. Bring it cross rink. O'Brien tries to finesse one to the slot. It comes on through where Easterwood will clamp down on it for another face-off. 6:24 to go in the opening period. 23 seconds in the 5-on-3 for the CSU Rams, trying to tie this game back up at 1. Back to the point. Rams do keep the play alive. Lucas Wild with a wrister that's blocked. Easton Harrison next to the rebound. Denny White played around the horn, back to Wild straight away. Wild with a little bit of give and go. A wrist shot blocked in front again. 1 second to go. Now back to 5-on-4 for another 7 seconds. Sharp angle bid. White to the middle. Clogged up in front there, trying to stuff it on the short side. And Easterwood with a couple of saves there as a couple of white jerseyed Rams are trying to dig in and trying to force that puck through. The Cowboys are back to even strength. They survived the extended 5-on-3 and remain ahead 1-0. Unfortunate there for CSU. They had a good chance to try and get back and tie this game as a Wrist shot flagged down baseball style by Jesse Easterwood, crossing over there with his glove hand to make that stop. Nate Bishop did not get control of that faceoff for the Rams. It's Lotzer who will use the dasher to play clear all the way down the length of the ice for an icing against Wyoming. Another offensive zone draw for the Rams, tied up underneath the skate there of Donnellan, as this chop shot will find its way to the glove of Easterwood for another whistle. Another offensive zone draw here for Nate Bishop, who played his high school hockey at Battle Mountain High. Into the slot, here's Mario Rodriguez looking to make a break for it. 2-on-2 with Bullard. Rodriguez gets to the outside. A centering pass comes all the way through, and it's chopped wide. Donnellan didn't get a lot of wood on that shot, even though he found his man bearing down on the far side. Sharp angle bid, stick to side by Cross North. Rebound does not get out of the zone, so says Millimon, before he is crunched to the boards by Bishop. Rams a little trick play there by Dylan De Los Santos, not getting very deep into the attack territory. Sulkas played it up the wing, a shoulder put into him by Donnellan. That pass deflected by Dylan De Los Santos as he goes for a line change. Walshaw's rink-wide feed gathered by Marcus. He gets it right back. Benton Walshaw, armed aside, he'll play it deep behind Easterwood's net. Rams unable to come away with it for the moment. Held in at the line by Tyler Shawns. He's not able to keep it in on the second effort, though, forcing the Rams to tag up. Just over 4 minutes to go in the opening period. Rams in the attacking zone. Unable to get very much fluidity going here in the opening 15-plus minutes. And now a potential 2-on-1. Berg closing in with Lowen on the backside. Lowen from skate to stick on the backhand. And a good back check on the block there. Looks like Tyler Shawns, he's staggered a little bit after blocking that shot. Back to his skates now, though. Cowboys unable to hold it in, and now Shawns will make a break for it on his own. His leg feels a little better now, although he fanned on his pass into the slot area intended for Prime Morales. Nate Venus working out of his own zone with Nolan Berg, trying to jump into the interior, right into the heart of the Rams' defense where he would find no such luck. Couple of indirect plays there, not getting around the defense of Landon Lotzer. Now Trey Campbell will work it wide. Trey Campbell, sharp angle big, great stop by Cross North as Braxton Thomas found himself all alone right in front of the Ram net. Rams have been taking a lot of hits for playing the puck in deep here in the neutral zone. Most recently, Luke Hansen was decked in open ice. Now another attempted breakout for the Cowboys as Braxton Thomas's wrister, easy glove save there for Cross North with now less than 3 minutes to go in period number 1. Rams get control of the faceoff. It's Logan Warfield playing it all the way across and down. This is untouched, and so it will be icing against CSU despite the late efforts of Jackson O'Brien to get to that biscuit. Wesley Amos taking the draw here for the Cowboys. Wrist shot that gets deflected. Didn't get on goal there on Cross North. Rams do play it clear. Christian Struber back to fetch. Plays it along for Heck. He'll reverse the flow. There's nobody back there behind the net for Wyoming. A centering pass from Barton. Cleaned up nicely by Ethan Millimon. Cowboys not out of the woods yet. Back to the point. Wrist shot fanned on by Logan Warfield, and that will give the Cowboys time to escape. 3-on-2. Almost up the middle. Out wide to Silcox. Glove save by North. Rebound still loose in the slot. They jam for it. It goes behind the cage. Guys creating a scene there in front of Cross North, who's lost his goalie stick. It's out in the right circle. Rams able to clean it up. Jackson O'Brien will skate this to safety, gain the center line, and just play it clear in off the blocker of Easterwood. CSU will get a fresh troops over the boards, and Cross North will get his goalie stick back. Meanwhile, behind Easterwood's net, Rams putting on a forechecking clinic here, keeping Rodriguez and company in their own zone, only for the moment, as Bullard will skate it clear before he is finished off as he dumped the puck into the Ram bench. 75 seconds to go here in the opening period. Behind me here at this rink, we got a pretty good crowd shaping up here for this one. Good rivalry game here between two close squads. This is lobbed in on goal, so no icing here against the Rams. Burgess' centering pass gets blocked. Patrick McGrath will not get that stretch pass to connect. Rams play it right back in, less than a minute to go in the opening frame. All the way around it comes for Rodriguez. Stretch pass for Bullard. 2-on-1 here developing. Bullard's centering pass, deflected on goal, stopped by North as there are a couple of bodies flying straight at him. Kept in the zone. Good back-checking pressure there by Easton Harrison, knocking his man off the puck. That was Nate Venus, who found himself open in the slot. Venus, one of the only players without a name on the back of his jersey there for the Cowboys. McGrath on top for Rodriguez. Nifty move to get into the zone. Carving in on the backhand. He shoveled it just wide. Another chance off the wall, not getting through to Cross North. This top line been a going concern all period long, and there's a stoppage in play for a hand pass here with just 7 seconds to go in the first. One last face-off in the neutral zone here as Trey Campbell plays it in. 2 seconds now and one. A quick centering pass just shoved wide across North. The Cowboys got a shot attempt away. It was Daxton Thomas on that bang-bang play on his backhand. He did not get that on goal, or else he might have had a 2-0 strike there. Nevertheless, through 20 minutes, the Wyoming Cowboys lead it 1-0 over the hometown CSU Rams. We'll get you back for an intermission update here. This is the ACHA on Price Productions. Welcome back. It's the first intermission here at ACHA on Price Productions. CSU trailing the visiting Wyoming Cowboys 1-0. A first period strike by Ian Bullard here, and we have a little highlight reel to go back over that. As you can see on the replay, this is during a 4-on-4 segment where two teams were both penalized for roughing, but a quick strike off the faceoff, connecting some passes through the middle of the ice, and Ian Bullard got a step on his defenseman, and that was history on the wrist shot from the flank. So that's all the scoring we saw in the first period, but that wasn't for a lack of chances. CSU Rams had a 5-on-3 power play for over a minute and a half in that first period, but they were unable to cash in. And CSU, I think they would like to come away with a goal or two there maybe on that 5-on-3 opportunity, but it's been a back and forth period. We saw already some animosity brewing, as mentioned earlier. Braxton Thomas and Easton Harrison were the two that were sentenced to the roughing penalties that led to that 4-on-4 goal by Ian Bullard. So it's been a good hockey game thus far. We'll get you back for the second period here in just a few moments. This is the ACHA on Price Productions. Second period about to get underway here at the Adora Pool Ice Center in Fort Collins, Colorado. CSU Rams hosting the University of Wyoming Cowboys for the second time this season. As we look at the road ahead, CSU has a game tomorrow in Boulder at CU for the Wyoming Cowboys. They'll head back up to the Centennial State to take on Metro State on the 21st of this month, so next weekend. Again, if you missed it earlier, a first period goal by Ian Bullard has the visitors ahead of the Rams to start. Period of the long change set to get underway. Both goaltenders lining up opposite to the nets that they were at the first period. So have a lot more to look forward to, have a lot more management of your ice time to go through in this period, as is the case everywhere you go. Rams had a 5-on-3 power play for over a minute and a half in that first period, as we touched on back during the intermission, but they were unable to convert. You'd like to see CSU get some more time, more offensive zone time in this second period. Both teams pretty back and forth, though. Both teams had good opportunities at either end of the ice. As we are set to go, and the second period is underway with Lotzer in control. Up the wall, he will still come away with it and chip it into the zone before spilling his man in the corner. Through the middle of the ice, the Rams have to get their signals straight. They'll have to retread. Trey Campbell has the puck for the Cowboys. Backhanded in by Donelin, sending Rodriguez in after it. Rodriguez makes the strip, gets the puck back, and a sharp angle bid kicked out of there by North. His first stop of the period. Donelin, a little saucer pass there for Campbell, or for Trey Campbell. In alone offside is Rodriguez. He pots one between Cross North, but that was right as the whistle went. Referee's stopping play. The signal will look to be a hand pass. Fortunate break there for the Rams. I thought they would have called that play back for being offsides first, but that shows you what I know. In on the draw is Eustace Harrison. Has 7 points through his first 10 games this season, as Burgess lost a puck on that pirouette move to the outside. Sulkus activating from the blue line to keep the play alive. 3 and 4 players in that scrum. This puck pops over the head of Sulkus, and now is a foot race back the other way. North plays it to the corner. There's a whistle. Behind the play, there's a couple of skaters that need to be separated from one another. Sam Burgess and Daxton Thomas are to be separated from one another. Penalty box door for CSU is open. And not the same can be said for the Cowboys, though. So Wyoming will go back to the power play. They're 0 for 1 on their power play. Their power play was cut short by a penalty taken by Bo Donelin that set in motion those two at 5-on-3 power play that the Rams eventually had. He has the puck now, playing pitch and catch with Mario Rodriguez at the point. Bullard seam pass. Rodriguez loads up a one-timer, blocked in front by Eustace Harrison. He staggered for a moment, but stays on his feet. Bullard spinning away from pressure. Rodriguez around the horn to Donelin. Tried to make a quick pass there. And Lucas Wild lost his stick there. He's unable to play the puck. All the way back around the horn she comes. Down low for Amos. He gets stapled to the glass by Sulkus. And the Rams will eventually play clear with Eustace Harrison doing the honors. Fresh penalty killers over the bench for CSU. Now just over a minute left in that penalty to Burgess, as Rodriguez carves into the zone and ran right into the heart of the Ram defense and coughed it up. Jesse Easterwood is the goaltender of note to start this game. Leaves it on a platter there for a turning Joe May. Bullard crosses over to his backhand. He will scale this in all the way around the horn. May has it hop over the edge of his stick, and Daxton Thomas will take over. May comes back with it, steps in and fires. Stopped by North, and he will squeeze long enough to get the whistle. .20 seconds left in the minor penalty to Sam Burgess before CSU is allowed back to even strength. Daxton Thomas, a long way from the cooker, deflected down and just wide of the cage. Daxton a chance to reload. Down low for Braxton. They play a little give and go. Braxton across rink looking for May. It was out of his reach. He catches up to it before the line, though. Plague stays in the offensive zone. Daxton hatchets this one. It deflects across to the other corner for May. Rams back at full strength. Burgess is set free from the penalty box. Braxton Thomas on the reverse for Daxton. Little cutback move into the slot. Into the interior. A good defensive play by Logan Warfield. Rams don't get it out. Snapshot deflected up and out of play. Good defense there by CSU as Christian Struber caught the Rams trying to flee the zone. Colorado State survives the shorthanded situation to begin the second period. It's not a good look when you take a penalty early on in the frame, because you're not able to get your guys into the rhythm of playing 5-on-5, so to speak. Although Kirk Slough will take this face-off, puck deflects up high off of Wild, and the Rams will play clear. Now that they've had a chance to get back to 5-on-5, they can get back to their game where they were having some success on the forecheck. Bad pass, coughed up and turned over, but quickly alleviated by the defensive Lucas Wild. Turning the cage is Nate Sulkis, playing that from his skate to his stick there. Reversing for Wild, connecting the dots tape to tape. With Kirk Slough weaving his way into the zone, stops up, gets double teamed, and the Cowboys are not able to clear just yet. Tyler Sean's keeping it in at the attacking line. Puck deflects right into the slot. Nobody in white was able to see that. Nobody was able to get to that puck before the Cowboys were. Behind his own net is Landon Lotzer. On the outlet, this comes all the way through, and it's icing against the Cowboys. The entire Wyoming bench gets up in arms over that because it looked like Bo Donelin had a pretty clear path to that puck first. And the linesmen are going to say, you know what, that sounds about right. So they'll actually bring the faceoff back to center ice. This is what happens when the officials make an icing call that they eventually want to overturn. So not going to penalize the Cowboys for that one. Evan Heck with a stretch pass off the tape of Bullard, who has the lone goal tonight here in this contest, as Cross North will just melt this puck that found its way into his crease. Four and a half minutes gone by in the second period. A long way from the cooker is Ethan Millimon. He coughed it up. Rams with a 2-on-1 down the wing. A 3-on-1. And Barton missed a net with his wrist shot there on the centering pass from Vaughn. Good turnover by Walshaw back the other way. CSU not able to sort this out just yet in their own zone. Good spin move to get away from pressure by Ibsen. And Jared Barton will play clear. A long stretch pass off the tape, and now Barton's in him alone. Barton on the short side, shut down by Easterwood. CSU trying to keep things humming in the attacking zone. Walshaw, curl and drag. He was triple teamed in the slot. Now here comes the Cowboys the other way. Rodriguez over skates. Defended well by Sam Burgess. Long stretch pass for Eustace Harrison. Well defended at the other end by Patrick McGrath. Easton Harrison takes the pass from Eustace. Will try to play it back in. That is short-circuited by Patrick McGrath once more. Spinning is Burgess. Trying to get to the outside. Poke check at the attacking line. Walshaw overskates. Now is an odd man break for Wyoming. Daxton Thomas, backdoor feed, and they score! Joe May on the second opportunity doubles the lead for Wyoming. It's 2-0. Take another look at that on the replay. Rams getting a little sloppy out of their own zone with a 3-on-2. The first pass, they give it and go. They tap it back and forth. And a wonderful passing play ends with a slam dunk for the Brush, Colorado native, Joe May. Entered play tonight with 3 goals and 4 assists in 15 games played for the Wyoming Cowboys this year. Now the Rams have a 2-goal hole to dig themselves out of. Aubrey Prime Morales looking to do just that. A spinning shot just wide of the net, guarded by Easterwood, and he'll pounce on it before a rebound is available. That was Kirk Slough getting that spinning wrist shot towards the cage. Off this draw, the Wyoming Cowboys will play it clear. Back to Luke Hansen before he gets run over by a couple of defenders. Lotzer trying to carve into some space, and his wrist shot blockered aside by Cross North. Back the other way, Rams come out 2 against 4. Good defense there by Christian Struber. Good read on that play. He stepped up and poked the pass offline immediately. Revolving back through center, this is Marcus. Marcus will reverse, and there is a stoppage in play here. There's a Cowboy making his way off the ice. A stoppage in play. I was unable to get the number of who that was vacating the playing surface. He was grabbing at his left wrist. He's now in the locker room. Getting some attention for himself as athletic trainer for Wyoming skates walks across the ice. .13:07 to go here in period number 2. It appears to be a stoppage due to an injury concern from the Wyoming bench. I was unable to get who it was that left the ice. But face off at center, and now play will continue here in the second period. The Cowboys established a 1-0 lead after 1. Joe May has scored here in the second period and made it 2-0. As the Cowboys keep the forecheck active, Millimon had that pop over his stick and goes back out to center. Nolan Berg will help out. Millimon shouldered by Dylan De Los Santos. De Los Santos comes away with the puck, not able to get it clear. Wrist shot goes wide of North. Millimon carries his man to the glass. That was Lucas Wild. Shans with Wild now will work out of the zone. Rink wide feed for De Los Santos. Getting around Evan Heck, he'll play it into the corner. Millimon gets shoved into the boards rather rudely. Point shot from Wild en route. And a stop by Jesse Easterwood, and he'll cover. Just under 8 minutes gone by here in the second period. Face off inside the attacking zone for the Rams. Right off the draw, a sharp angle bid from Vaughn goes up and out of play. I believe that didn't hit anything on its way, so the faceoff should come outside the zone. But again, I am proven wrong. So what do I know? Walshaw with a toe drag move at the line, keeping the play active. All the way around the horn it comes. Hudson Ibsen activating from the blue line. At the point, O'Brien covering up with a slapper that goes wide. Walshaw able to keep it in. Now Rodriguez has some room down the wing, trying to curl a pass to the front. Well defended by Tyler Vaughn and the Rams. Tap it into space. Here's Walshaw. Not able to get any separation there as he gained the attacking line. And this long stretch pass. Icing is waved off as Rodriguez got to that puck first. Rams get it out of the zone, but not much further. On the reverse, this is Hudson Ibsen. He backpedals, was cut off by Bullard. Bullard burrowing his way to the front of the net there. A power move and almost a slam dunk on the back door there. A sharp angle shot and a whistle and a stoppage in play. Christian Struber was down behind the net, and the net itself became dislodged, so that was the reason for the whistle. Wesley Amos to take this draw to the left of Cross North. that rink-wide pass was an ill-advised one, and O'Brien will go the other way. Into the slot, curl it back, and a glove save by Easterwood on Jared Barton. He had a great look in the slot on the one time. Arguably the best save that Easterwood's had to make tonight. CSU back, getting their first line back out over the boards. All right, I beg your pardon. That's the second line here tonight. Daxton Thomas scampers back through center on the advance. He's fanned on his pass. It clicked off the boot of Eustace Harrison. Now triggers a foot race the other way. Eustace from the angle fires, and Easterwood had that. He gave up a little bit of a rebound, but he was able to hold on to it before any white jerseys got to the vicinity. CSU not seeing a lot of sustained pressure here in the offensive zone through either of these two periods. Already nearing the midway point of regulation as a long wrister from Hansen floats wide. Evan Heck first to the loose biscuit. He'll play it clear. Only as far as Sam Burgess. On the forecheck, Burgess, a guided missile after it. Cowboys do escape the zone. Joe May flying back through the neutral zone after getting on the board here in this second period. Braxton Thomas knifing to the middle, and his shot got blocked in front by Warfield. Off the cycle, Colorado there wise to that. Burgess, that puck took a funky bounce off the dasher board in the door to the Wyoming bench. A centering pass floated to the middle. There's a penalty call coming as Denny White was hog-tied going to the front of the net. Check that. That was David Marcus. Penalty call coming against the Cowboys. I didn't see the signal, although my guess would be a hook or a hold. And it's Braxton Thomas, the guilty party. Braxton in his first year with the Cowboys. Already with 9 points in 11 games played entering play tonight. CSU off to their third power play of the evening. Remember, they had a 5-on-3 back in the first period, and they were unable to cash in on. See if they can make good use of this one as the play comes back to Logan Warfield. Along the near side wall, Colorado unable to hold the zone. Now a shorthanded opportunity for Mario Rodriguez. He was taken off the puck there, and the Rams will start out of their own territory. On the prowl, this is Jared Barton gathering speed. He'll drop it back for Eustace Harrison. Barton gets it back before he is quickly stapled to the glass. Cowboys come away with it. Rink-wide pass for Venus, and he will send CSU packing once more. Fresh penalty killers over the glass for Kerry Heck and Scott Miller's squad. Tyler Vaughn, uncontested out of his own zone, will drop it back to Warfield. He plays it into the corner. CSU not going to get to that puck first. Vaughn and the Rams do keep it in just for the moment, though. Shorthanded breakout here for Amos. Wesley Amos down the outside, and Warfield took a good angle on him. He didn't get a shot away. Amos, though, still has the puck, still on his feet. Now just content to rag some time in the offensive zone. 3 Rams in there trying to loosen that up from big Wesley Amos, who's all of 6'4", 190. Rams do skate away with it, though. It's Easton Harrison dropping it back to O'Brien, trying to toe drag there through Venus. He was unable to do so. 15 seconds to go in the penalty to Braxton Thomas. Jared Barton crossing over, or I beg your pardon, that's Lucas Wild, blazing a trail into the zone. Wild skates it for a lap, throws it on the on-net, a stop there by Easterwood. Back to full strength now are the Cowboys. Sulka spins, Wild one-timer, he shanked it. Out of the box, and back to 5-on-5 are we. Lauhan trying to make a move into the offensive zone. He was stood up by the Ram defense, and this puck comes to North, who will freeze. Colorado State now going 0 for 3 on the manpower advantage tonight. Not a lot of sustained pressure in the zone for the Rams on that power play. Out there, it's Ian Raditz, number 8 in the brown and gold. David Marcus, though, skates away with the puck. Marcus, good back check there by Loham to get to that biscuit and short circuit the CSU rush. Along the half wall, Hudson Ibsen plays it around. Millimon will play this clear. It'll go the length of the ice. And icing is washed out. That puck died before it hit the goal line on CSU. And that one also, that outlet pass hit a divot in the ice, causing that puck to escape its target. Cowboys tag up on the delayed offsides. They lead it 2-0 here inside of 7 minutes to go in the second period. First period goal from Ian Bullard and a second period strike from Joe May has y'all caught up. Braxton Thomas playing it indirect to the point. Evan Heck lets it go. He scores! Evan Heck from long range makes it 3-0 Wyoming. On the replay, it was a screenshot. You could see all kinds of bodies in front of Cross North. He tried to cross over. That puck goes by his right ear and into the top part of the net underneath the crossbar, making it 3-0 visitors with 6:22 to go in the second period. Cowboys getting in firm control of this one as this puck is melted by Cross North. Last man on the board, Evan Heck, his 4th year with the Cowboys organization. He played his high school hockey with the Laramie Outlaws back in 2020 and 2021. Mario Rodriguez spins away from pressure. Donelin with a stick lift there, forgot the puck. Bullard's in there to support before he's carried to the glass by Shawns. Shawns there still digging in with it. Bullard comes away with it, or Bullard, excuse me. Centering pass loose in front and just jammed wide. A great save by North as Donelin was loose right in front of the net. Puck carries back out to neutral. McGrath gets undercut and he goes awkwardly into the boards. And there's a penalty call coming. Referee has his right arm raised. And it looks like they're going to get Dylan De Los Santos. Things going from bad to worse here for the CSU Rams here in the second period. They trailed by 1 after 20 minutes. They've now seen that deficit grow to a 3-0 problem. And a roughing penalty has been asserted against Dylan De Los Santos, putting Wyoming to their 3rd power play of the evening. They're 0 for 2 thus far. But if you're looking to get back into this game like the Rams are, this is not a good look. Center point, snap pass comes all the way through to Braxton Thomas. Braxton stopping and starting, goal line extended. Plays it in tight for Daxton Thomas. Those two will exchange places. And the puck. Daxton at the half wall. McGrath around the horn for May. Another wrist shot. Stopped by North. The rebound swept out of there. Out of danger by Sulkitz. The Thomases will again exchange places. Bring it around for May. Another wrist shot. That's blocked in front. Daxton to Braxton. And right back to Daxton. Those two trying to make my job a living nightmare tonight. Braxton has the puck. Played out to McGrath. He skates to the center line. Braxton getting downhill. A backhand feed turned away by Sulkus, still not getting it out. Another penalty call coming against CSU as Barton pulled off a trip, and the Rams touch it up, and now there is even more trouble. Jared Barton with a tripping penalty inside the defensive zone, and things go from bad to worse here for CSU. It'll be 54 seconds of 5-on-3 time for the Wyoming Cowboys, their first taste of 5-on-3 hockey tonight. With just about 4.5 to go in period number 2. Critical juncture of the hockey game here for the Rams. Stepping in from point position is Bullard. Gets it right back and lets it go. Blocked by Eustace Harrison, the top of that penalty-killing triangle. Mario Rodriguez down low to Donovan, and the net came off of its pegs. A whistle here. I believe that was just an incidental play there with North knocking that right post off. The shot was deflected up and out of play. CSU still 2 men down for another 39 seconds. Berg plays it topside for Bullard. Bullard interchanges with Donelan. Bullard down low. Donelan crossing over to receive that pass. Rodriguez to Bullard. This way to Donelan. Lots of personnel movement here. Quick shot, stop, rebound, score! Rodriguez makes it 4-0 Wyoming on the 5-on-3. On the replay, you'll see it clear as day. Great personnel movement. Watch almost pop out into the slot. The first chance, and North made a great save, but it was a vacant net for Mario Rodriguez on the rebound. And he made no mistake. Probably not an easier goal you're going to score in this league than that one. Mario Rodriguez had a 3-point game against California State University Northridge on September 28th. He gets his team's 4th goal of the night here against CSU. And the Cowboys look to be running away with this one. There's still 1 minute and 10 seconds left of penalty time for Jared Barton for tripping, so it's still 5-on-4 for Wyoming. As a heavy hit administered along the boards by Luke Hansen. Rams send it the length of the ice. Bo Donelan will chip this in and go after it with help from Struber, as Cross North sees this one deflect out to his crease and has seen enough. We talked a little bit earlier in this period about taking an early penalty will kind of throw you off of your rhythm, as McGrath's wrister blocked down. A great follow-up save by North on Joe May, who's already got a goal in this second period. Bring it back the other side. Braxton Thomas was unable to keep it in, unable to hold it on for a moment. And Luke Hansen will golf this one the length of the pond. 20 seconds to go in the Jared Barton tripping penalty. Joe May out of his own zone, forced back. He'll elect to go with Braxton Thomas. Thomas chisels this one into the zone. Quickly short-circuited and cleared by the Rams. And Easterwood will just tee this up. Daxton Thomas, as the Rams are back to even in full strength. There's Barton out of the penalty box and right into your picture. Jared Barton floating down the wing, all the way around the horn. Barton quickly hit there along the half wall. Sulkus keeps it in and down low. Turning back with it was Raditz. He'll play it up the middle. That'll get back out to Lucas Wild. The Rams have to tag up still. Wild brings it in. Centering pass off the toe of Barton's blade and just wide. Jared Barton's had arguably the best offensive chances for CSU all game tonight, as Nolan Berg crosses into the zone, potential 3-on-2. Raditz on the crossover move. His bid didn't get through to cross north. Now here comes CSU the other way. Sulkus flying down the wing, taking it wide, a centering pass, and Eustace Harrison had his stick tied up. He was unable to get a blade on it. Drop pass, wrist shot stopped there by North. A sharp angle bid fanned on by Lotzer. Back the other way, now round and round we go. Prime Morales, angled and finished by Magnus Loham. 3 and 4 players in that tussle. Prime Morales comes away with it off to the half wall, into the slot, and it's chipped out of the zone again by Wyoming. Wild taking a check there from Mario Rodriguez, the last man on the board. Here in this middle frame, a rink-wide pass comes off his stick, trying to jump cut to the middle there before he took a huge hit from Nate Sulkus. Got spun around in the attacking zone. Play continues here with Lotzer. Chipped up and out of the zone. Lucas Wild's pass not going far. Rodriguez overlapping. Spins a pass to the interior, comes on through ahead of Bullard before he shoulders his man, like a nice counter hit there. Donelin playing catch with Millimon. Evan Heck on the other flank. A routine stick save for Cross North, and he'll melt it now with just over a minute to go here in the second period. 1:11, the time remaining in period number 2. If you're just tuning in with us, this was a 1-0 lead for the Rams, or 1-0 lead for the Cowboys, excuse me, after 1, which has now turned into a 4-0 edge. And right off the face-off, that will bring us to the end of the second period. So the Wyoming Cowboys taking control of this one here, turning a 1-0 advantage into a 4-0 lead in the middle 20 minutes. We'll get you back for an intermission update here with the ACHA on Price Productions. Welcome back to the ACHA on Price Productions. Dale Ganthony here with you to recap the second period. And if you missed it, and if you're a Rams fan, there's not a lot to like. We'll go back through and montage all the goals that were scored. It started with a very pretty three-way passing play on a 3-on-2 that ended with a tap-in for Joe May in his second year with the Cowboys organization. Started out as a 1-0 lead for the Cowboys at the end of one. And then off of an indirect pass, a little chip shot from Evan Heck fools cross north. A few moments later, that made it 3-0, second goal of the period for Wyoming. And then during a 5-on-3 power play, a one-timer in the slot with a wide-open rebound for a Mario Rodriguez. He got his first of the game tonight. That has you all caught up through 40 minutes of play. Both teams getting set to start the third period here shortly. Penalty trouble doomed the CSU Rams in that second period. They took an early penalty thanks to Jared Barton, and they were never really able to get their 5-on-5 game established after that point. So even though they weren't burned on that first penalty, they obviously gave up the 5-on-3 shorthanded goal as part of that second period flurry by the Cowboys. And so Wyoming looking for something to get the offense started here, something to get some more sustained pressure on Jesse Easterwood, who has not had a lot of shots to face in this game, but he's been very sturdy when called upon here in this game. So both teams are getting ready to take the ice here again to start the third period. We're just nearing the top of the hour here in Fort Collins. Rams looking for anything that they can use to get back into the offensive category. Not much to show for it on that front here this evening. We talked about the 5-on-3 power play that CSU had back in the first period. That's where some of their best looks came from. At this point in time, all you can really do if you're the Rams and head coach Doug Sheridan, all you can do is start throwing pucks at the net and see what kind of bounces you can generate, see what kind of second and third opportunities you can look for, because neither team, or the Rams have not really gotten a lot of sustained offense on a lot of their possessions. As a reminder, CSU will be back in action tomorrow at CU. And the next game on the schedule for the University of Wyoming Cowboys after tonight will be next Friday night against Metro State. Dale Ganthony here with the American Collegiate Hockey Association on Price Productions. We're getting ready for the start of the third period here tonight. Wyoming looking to put the cherry on top of this one and cement their revenge game after their 5-2 setback against these Rams back on October the 24th. And the third period begins here with the Cowboys chipping it into the zone. And Ian Bullard causing a fuss along the half wall. Slough, I believe that was Kirk Slough, will create the reverse. Rams will get it clear. Jackson O'Brien will just swing this in. Easterwood will tee this up for a turning Donnellan. Turned back by Logan Warfield. Tyler Vaughn will spin, activating Warfield into the rush offensively. Logan Warfield with a wrister, deflected wide. Swinging a pass to the front that deflects off of Campbell, actually wide of the crease. Burgess will play this around the horn. Jared Barton first to it. Poke checked and stripped of the puck by Trey Campbell, and then the puck is lifted up and out of play by Ian Bullard. Ian Bullard, who has had the game's first goal back in the opening period. Has what is to this point the game-winning goal. Off this draw, Landon Lotzer will swing this hard around. It comes on through Nate Sulkis, so there's no icing. Lucas Wild will work away from the forecheck and will gain the attacking zone. Out wide to Burgess, fires, missed it on the short side. Turning back through center, Braxton Thomas plays it out wide to Joe May. Neat moves into the zone to his backhand, and he was poke checked at the end of the line by North. A centering feed taken away by Sulkis and played clear. Quickly turned back into the zone by Wyoming. Lucas Wild will play it up the wall. Daxton Thomas there to cut that off. Not able to keep it in for very long. Puck deflected, played clear but not out. Easton Harrison has his pocket picked by Nate Venus. That will force the Rams to regroup once more. Easton Harrison down the flank with a step, fires, and had that blocked by Venus on the back check for another stoppage in play. Over 2 minutes gone by here in the third period, and you can see an adjustment being made by the Rams coaching staff. They're being a lot less selective with when they decide to put the puck on net here in this third period. And at this juncture of the game, you have no reason not to. Turn back, David Marcus had it poked away. A long point drive doesn't get through to the net. Walshaw plays it around the horn and gets it right back from Slough. Kirk Slough at the point. His wrist shot blocked by Millimon. Venus will play this out, and Amos is away 1 against 2. Amos given a shoulder there by Benton Walshaw. Good defensive play by number 23 in the white. Kirk Slough pressured quickly on the forecheck. Turning back the other way on the outlet, Aubrey Prime Morales now will gain the attacking zone. His pass blocked away. Rams keep it in. Prime Morales in prime territory, couldn't pull the trigger before being occupied by Evan Heck. One of the 3 second period goal scorers as the puck is chipped up and out of play for a whistle. Both teams making personnel changes ahead of this faceoff to the right of Jesse Easterwood. In goal tonight. Again, we talked about him at the end of the second intermission. He's been very solid here in this game as Walshaw plays it in deep. Sean's for the sharp angle. Centers a pass in front that comes all the way through, intended for Nate Bishop. Bishop stands up his man out of the corner. Sean's in front, bang, bang, stop. Follow-up chance and a save by Easterwood. 2 great saves there. The second one of those arguably better on that little chip shot by Bishop. Another face-off in the offensive zone for the Rams. Tyler Shawns to take it. And he lost it. Ibsen not able to keep this in. It's a 2-on-1 for Rodriguez and Bullard. Rodriguez closes and fires. He missed it on the glove side, and puck went out of play. Rodriguez looking for his second of the game. He was the last man on the board during that 5-on-3 power play that the Cowboys had back in the second. Mario Rodriguez has 3 NA3 Hockey League games under his belt this year with the Yellowstone Quake. Off the draw, a wrist shot by Rodriguez, guided away by Cross North. And now the Rams will outlet. Hansen across to Vaughn off the toe drag. Made a pass that came back, was behind CSU there, behind Jackson O'Brien. Rams will regroup with Luke Hansen. Into the middle for O'Brien. He will just scale this in, sending Barton after it. Turning away from pressure is McGrath. Forecheck still coming from Vaughn. Bullard puts a shoulder into his man before taking the puck away. Rink wide feed catches Daxton Thomas as he backpedals into the zone, looking for reinforcements. Wyoming was completing a line change. Daxton has the puck briefly before it's turned back. CSU sorting out affairs in their own zone. with Luke Hansen spinning away from pressure. Over 4.5 minutes now gone by in the third period. Jared Barton will use the wall to get it clear. Puck deflects right back into the Rams zone. Pressure coming quickly from Ethan Millimon. Barton plays it indirect. O'Brien was at the end of his shift. He'll let this come on through. Millimon, neat move into the middle, getting away from the Rams defense. Colorado on the outlet. Touched ahead by Easton Harrison. Burgess to the front off the skate of Eustace. He plays it back on through the crease. Nobody home in white. Turning back through center again. Easton onside brings it in. Centering pass. Wrist shot blocked by Millimon. Doing a great job getting in the shooting lane. At the point, this is Lucas Wild. He fires, deflected, wide of the cage. Easton Harrison keeps it. Indirectly for Sulkis. This way to Wild. Wrist shot blocked. Down to a knee there. A sharp angle bid and a good save by Easterwood, pardon me. Slot feed comes all the way back to the point for Wild. Wild into the interior. Burgess was tied up there. There's a penalty call coming behind the play with Easton Harrison dabbing at his face. Ethan Millimon, they're sending to the box. I believe high sticking is going to be the call there. You saw Easton Harrison checking his face there underneath that face shield, that face cage. Rams to their fourth power play of the evening, 0 for 3 on the night. Looking to get some offense generated here, a man to the good. Tyler Vaughn steps in from his point position, centers it, and Warfield's wrist shot was blocked and cleared by the Cowboys. 13:46 to go in regulation time. Rams trailing 4-0, but on the power play for another minute 33. Prime Morales caught up, or O'Brien, caught up to from the blind side. Tyler Vaughn steps into his position in the formation. They get it set. Jared Barton able to keep that puck in. Vaughn had his pass deflected out of the zone, and now Rodriguez looking to make a break for it shorthanded. Doing a good job there defensively, but taking a penalty was Logan Warfield. Logan Warfield interferes with Rodriguez as he was trying to make a breakaway shorthanded, and that will cut the Rams power play short. So we'll have a minute 11 of 4-on-4 time before the Cowboys go to their fifth power play of the evening. And it's just been that kind of night for the Rams. As you see, not a happy camper is Logan Warfield. So we'll skate 4 aside. Centering pass quickly clicks off the skate of Daxton Thomas. Rams looking to clear. David Marcus will do just that. On the reverse, Daxton to Braxton Thomas. Rink-wide feed finds Joe May off the inside of the post. A wicked wrist shot from Joe May, looking for his second of the game. Now poked ahead. Sulkis trying to break in one-on-one. Sulkis gets double teamed along the corner boards. Help coming from Easton Harrison. Back out there after taking that high stick. 31 seconds left in the 4-on-4 before Wyoming will go to an abbreviated manpower advantage. Braxton Thomas for Patrick McGrath into the zone. Feeds Daxton, for he was undercut by Hudson Ibsen. Doleman able to keep it in. McGrath, long wrister, answered there by Walshaw. Colorado State unable to clear yet. Daxton Thomas, neat cutback move into the middle, but gave it up. Now Colorado State a chance to work shorthanded. They have a 3-on-2. Along the outside, wrister coming from De Los Santos. He didn't get it on net. Colorado State now a man down for another 35 seconds. They have pressure in the offensive zone with Bullard forced to retrace his steps. Good hit cut there coming from David Marcus. Taking a couple of liberties there on Bo Donelin as he skates away. Wyoming breaking out of their own zone. Bullard will just play this in all the way across. Donelin dummies it on through. Donelin was knocked down again in behind the net. Now just getting back to his skates. Wesley Amos. Back to Rodriguez. Wrist shot blocked. 2 seconds left and 1 on the Rams penalty. Play is blocked. CSU back to even in full strength. Wyoming still on the attack. Hudson Ibsen collecting the puck. Being chased by Nolan Berg. Rams able to play clear only as far as Landon Lotzer. Lotzer working 1 against 2, 1 against 3 now before he finally has the puck taken away by Ibsen. Ibsen lost it. Or I beg your pardon, that was Jared Barton trying to stick handle his way out of the zone. Trey Campbell will just play this back in deep. Barton has the puck nearing the halfway point of the third period. Long outlet pass finds Tyler Vaughn. He is 1 against 3. All by his lonesome, trying to curl and drag his way into the front of the net. There's a penalty call coming, and it's going to be a slash against the Cowboys. Another chance here for CSU to get on the board here. Still with some time remaining, but if you're looking to try to bring this game back, you got to start putting goals behind Jesse Easterwood and fast. Maybe no better chance for you to do that than here while a man to the good. 5th power play opportunity of the night for CSU. The last one they had was cut short by an interference call against Logan Warfield. Eustace Harrison wins the draw. Tyler Vaughn playing a 2-man game with Warfield at the point. Bring it this way to Barton. Wrist shot, pad save by Easterman. And there's a stoppage in play. A whistle with, it looks like the net behind Easterman came dislodged. And there are 4 minutes. There were 4 minutes put on the board for the CSU power play. So the signal the referee gave was for a slash. I don't know if he got an extra penalty for an unsportsmanlike or what, but the CSU Rams actually have a double minor power play with which to work here. Tyler Vaughn off the win of the faceoff. Gives it to Warfield and gets it right back. Stepping downhill, playing for O'Brien. Redistributes. Vaughn back to Warfield. They play a 2-man game. Vaughn skate the stick. Interior for Eustace Harrison, stopped by Easterwood, and he'll hold. Eustace Harrison on the faceoff. Rams get control of it. 2-man game there with O'Brien. He lost the puck. Millimon there gets double teamed. CSU able to recontrol. Tyler Vaughn to the front. Score! Eustace Harrison in a power play goal has CSU on the board. A good activation on the replay here. Watch Tyler Vaughn on the left side of your screen. Activate in, drive to the center of the net, and a slot feed right on the money for Eustace Harrison, and he acknowledges the pass coming from the sharp angle. And CSU breaks the shutout for Jesse Easterwood here just over halfway through the third period. It's 4-1, and if I'm not mistaken, the penalty should be reduced to a 2-minute minor. I believe that's what we're waiting on here in-house. And there it is. So the CSU Rams convert on their 5th power play. Now they still have 2 minutes, a man up, to try and trim the lead down a little further. Face-off won by the Cowboys. Lotzer will play it indirect for Rodriguez. The Rams will regather and now get their power play set up for the entry. Nate Sulkus spins away from Donelin. On the reverse, Sulkus will play this indirectly off the boards and go in after it. Trey Campbell using the glass will get it clear. A heavy hit there in the slot. Deflected just wide right in front of Easterwood, and that went just wide on the top corner. Sulkus play it this way for Lucas Wild. For Sulkus at the middle. Off the skate to the stick, a centering pass cleared, but does get through Lucas Wild. He tried to go down to a knee to keep that in. He just missed it. 70 seconds to go in the remaining penalty time here for the Wyoming Cowboys. Out of his own zone comes Nate Sulkus. Takes it all the way himself, and he was pickpocketed by by Mario Rodriguez, I beg your pardon, and he will play it the length of the ice. Sulkus ran right into Wesley Amos here on the shorthanded, or on the breakout. Amos just trying to kill some time, plays it to the slot. Right in there is Struber. He'll backpedal and fire. A pad save for North. CSU getting things sorted out here. Just under 30 seconds to go on their remaining power play time. Benton Walshaw plays it up for O'Brien. He plays it rink wide. That carom a bit too strong for Eustace Harrison, and it's cleared. Now 10 ticks to go in the power play for CSU. Barton flying down the wing, all the way into the zone. Slot feed cleaned up by Daxton Thomas. They'll get it out, and that will do it for the Rams power play. O'Brien into the zone. Barton lets it go. Getting a stick on that was Nate Venus, and that deflects it out of play. Time winding down here in the third period for the CSU Rams. They have one power play goal here in the third period, but they still trail by 3. Tyler Sean's in on the faceoff. Sean's a backhander that dribbles wide of Easterwood. Braxton Thomas unable to get a stick on that. In there like a dog on a bone is Tyler Sean's, getting help out there from Dylan De Los Santos. Around the other flank, it's Bishop. He gets carried to the corner by Evan Heck. Sharp angle bit off the side of the cage. Backhand! And a good save by Easterwood off of Nate Bishop. Nate Bishop, who had 2 goals in 21 games with CSU last season, getting a pretty good opportunity there in tight. We've seen CSU get a lot better at generating more shot opportunities and doing a lot better job at getting shots from the interior of the ice, like that last one by Bishop, as Walshaw skates laterally right to the middle and fires one wide that may have glanced off the stick of Easterwood after the heavy collision down there in the corner with Prime Morales. Marcus with a bid that gets deflected wide. Ibsen keeping the play alive offensively. Prime Morales using his big body to keep on his feet and keep protection of the puck. A centering pass, well defended there by Trey Campbell. Outletting now for Wyoming. And there is a penalty call coming as Easterwood was on his way to the bench, and the referee has spotted a slashing infraction. This will put the Cowboys a man to the good. Power play for University of Wyoming. I believe it's their 5th of the evening. Already a 5-on-3 power play goal tonight. Compliments of Mario Rodriguez tonight. As the Rams will win the faceoff and play it clear. 6:10 to go in regulation. Easton Harrison trying to cause a turnover below the goal line. Forced one out to the front of the net, but it was surrounded by the brown jersey Cowboys. Amos on the drop. Gets it right back. Gets south of the goal line. and skates it all the way back where he'll play it to Rodriguez. Indirect. Donelan missed that pass, but it was stopped by the skates of the referee there, and the Rams will play clear with Easton Harrison once more. I beg your pardon. Yeah, it is Easton Harrison. No, it's Luke Hansen. I'm making sure I get my facts straight before I get everything delivered to you all here in a timely manner. Is out of the corner. It's Bullard. Wesley Amos, a sharp angle wrist shot that didn't get through to North. Rodriguez at the point. Long wrist shot deflected wide. Amos on the retrieval. Plays it back down below the goal line. Donelan ran into a hit there by Hansen. Donelan leaves it in his wake. And Rodriguez blew a tire out of the corner there, and the Rams will say thanks and play it clear. Now with 30 seconds left in the penalty to Prime Morales. And just 4:44 to go in a rapidly moving third period. Joe May plays this all the way around the dasher. Struber is next. He played it in deep. It was deflected away. Now a potential breakaway opportunity for Burgess. Burgess in. He fanned on the shot. Rebound, scores! On the follow-up, Tyler Vaughn gets an opportunity. It's a shorthanded goal for CSU, and it's now 4-2. On the follow-up opportunity, on the replay, Sam Burgess, you saw him miss the opportunity. The Cowboys unable to clear, and a heads-up play by Tyler Vaughn to follow up the opportunity, and he gets a stick on it, and he puts it past Jesse Easterwood, and it's now a 2-goal game. Still 5 seconds of power play time. Jared Barton put that up off the roof of the building here, so that will cause another whistle. 3 seconds before Aubrey Prime Morales will be set free from the sin bin. Barton off the draw. Rams get control of it only for a moment. Prime Morales off out of the penalty box. Jackson O'Brien to take his place on this line shift. As Vaughn trying to skate it clear, not getting through Braxton Thomas. Turnover. Sharp angle bid stopped by North. Vaughn will again loft this clear. It's into the glove of Venus. He will play it right back in the zone. Now under 4 minutes to go in regulation. The Rams have made this a little bit interesting now. They started this period trailing 4-0. A pair of goals on special teams have them now looking to make maybe some late game magic happen, as Rodriguez will be happy just to kill some time behind the net. Guarded by Cross North. Help comes from Donelan. Plays it back to Rodriguez. Out of his reach. He catches up to it, but not before coughing it up to Nate Sulkis. Sulkis on the reverse. Time's a wasting here for the hometown Rams. Trying to look and see if they can maybe pull their goaltender to get 6-on-5 as a sharp angle wrist shot is into the glove of that same goaltender Cross North for a whistle. Now at this point for Wyoming, it's about trying to do what they just did on that last line shift, kill about a minute off the clock at a time, and try to keep CSU hemmed in their own zone. For the Rams, it's about trying to get into the offensive zone and get possession set up to hopefully pull your goaltender and try to get another goal or two here late. Ibsen forced to backtrack. Rams unable to get out of their own zone here as Struber will chase down the loose puck in the corner. Getting away and then giving it back up to Ibsen. Burgess lets it come on through. Cowboys will again just play it in behind Cross North. Almost off that turnover. Wrist shot blocked. Now CSU with a chance to turn and start the counterattack. Easton Harrison crossing up. Burgess lets it go. Blocked in front. That took down the man in front of the net, Jaden Mobayed, who we have not seen his name called a lot. He's getting an assist back to the bench from his Cowboy teammates now as Easton Harrison steps right on in and fires. Shrugged away by Easterwood. Cross North staying put in his net for now with just over 2 minutes to go in regulation. Puck spills back out into the Rams zone. Ibsen there being hawked all the way by Daxton Thomas. Great hustle there by number 7 in the Brown. A centering pass gets into his skates and gets tied up before being played clear by CSU. But now a penalty as David Marcus was tripped up from behind. Colorado State now going to a power play with under 2 to go. If you're CSU, I think you should pull the goalie here, get some 6-on-4 action and try to tie this game up here late. But for the moment, North is staying put now. We got a timeout called by the Rams. Now looking to maybe come up with some of those strategies to make that comeback effort come true. Again, if you joined us late here in this game, it was 1-0 Cowboys after 1. They made it 4-0 through 2. And then here in the third period, we've seen Eustace Harrison and Tyler Vaughn get on the score sheet for the Rams here in the back half of the third period. Now CSU is going to go on the power play with under 2 minutes to go in the third period. The Rams have called a timeout here, trying to put together some late magic as faceoff will take place to the left of Jesse Easterwood. Easterwood, a native of Chicago, Illinois, played his U18 AAA hockey with the Colorado Rampage. Face-off to his left. Control, it is cleared by Bo Donelin off that face-off. CSU has the net empty. Cross North is on the bench. It is 6-on-4 for the guys in white. Turn back, forced clear, and off the post. Bo Donelin almost had a goal from about 150 feet. Sam Burgess will dump this in and go after it. 80 seconds to go in the period. Played back to the point for Warfield. Indirect, into the slot, jammed wide by O'Brien. Eustace Harrison catches up to the puck first. Barton walks the line. Back across, Warfield stops and starts into the interior and fires. That one was stopped by Easterwood. He didn't see where that was coming from. Under a minute to go now in regulation. All the way across. O'Brien to a better lane. A wrist shot pass that came on through. Jared Barton keeps it in. Tap, tap passing. One more into the slot. Back across O'Brien. Lets it go. Off the glove of Easterwood. Rebound still loose, and Eustace Harrison with a bid stopped by Easterwood with 38 seconds to play. The penalty to Wyoming will carry out through the bulk of regulation should the Rams not score. .38 seconds left. Eustace Harrison has one of the two Ram goals here in the third. Wins the faceoff. Quick draw off the faceoff, blocked by Amos. Warfield keeps it in. Barton with a wrister, blocked in front again. And Struber will get this back out to center. Rams forced to tag up. They get onside and dump it back in. 20 seconds left. Barton in there to come collect the puck. Activating from the point. Out to the point, Warfield lets it fly. Blocked in front. Tyler Vaughn tied up. Around the corner on the stuff attempt. Stopped by Easterwood. Rebound on the backhand. It's loose in the crease. They jam it at the side of the net. And Easterwood goes Dominic Hasek style. He put his blocking glove hand over the puck to freeze it with 3 seconds to go. Great set of saves there by Jesse Easterwood. One of them from the sharp angle there popped up over his shoulder, and it looked like it was going to roll in on the far side. And I believe it was Easton Harrison that had a chance to look at it on that sharp angle. But great awareness by Easterwood as there's just about one last faceoff to go. Tyler Vaughn in there, just maybe going to try to shoot it as the official drops the puck. It gets deflected to the back corner. And that is going to do it for tonight. The Wyoming Cowboys do secure their revenge against the CSU Rams for their loss last month and win this one by a final score of 4-2. Before we end off tonight, we'll go back through a recap of all the goals that were scored here in tonight's game as a closer. Starting with the goals that came by here in the third period here. CSU with a good comeback effort. That first goal by Eustace Harrison on the power play. Then a shorthanded goal here as Burgess gets a shorthanded opportunity. Even though he didn't get a great shot on goal, Tyler Vaughn followed it up well. Those are the goals that have you caught up through the third period. And then now we will show you nothing else. That will be it. So thank you so much for tuning in here. The Wyoming Cowboys besting the CSU Rams 4-2. You've been watching, and thank you so much for tuning in to ACHA Hockey on Price Productions. We have one more, both teams. Tonight, on behalf of tonight's crew, Doug Sheffield and Mary Lindsay, this is Dale Genthner signing off. Have a great night.